after finally getting past the Darren Stewart chapter of your life?
Man, it's not really so much the fight, but man, I've spent the last 6 months away from the family. Been in 2 camps back to back. Missed my anniversary out here training, and man, anything less than a win would have, couldn't have it. So I think it was 1-1 going into that 3rd round, and I knew I had to have that round. So once I got on top, I knew I wasn't going anywhere, and it feels good to not only take home 2 checks, but to validate everything that I've done. All the time away from home, the family, and missed things. So it was really imperative for me to go out there and get this win tonight.
The actual fight, is that how you envisioned it playing out, especially after feeling him for at least a round in the previously?
Well, man, the game plan was to go in there and wear him down, be heavy on him. I definitely could have worked more in the clinch, I think. Anytime the ref separates you, that's definitely an output issue, obviously. So, but I think the game plan worked. I think he was pretty tired going into that 3rd round, and that's how whenever we started wrestling and I got on top, he wasn't able to scramble up and get up, which he's been able to do in the past. Even the first time that we fought, I took him down. He was able to get back up, but I knew in the 3rd round I would have the cardio advantage.
Physically, did he feel any different in there, especially at 205 pounds? At media day, he said his cardio would be in his advantage at this weight class.
And honestly, I thought that he felt way stronger at 85. I don't know what he's been doing between now and then and what he did before our first fight, but in the clinch, I thought in the first fight, I thought he was way stronger. And that may have been nerves. I don't know. Maybe he was fighting it a little bit more. I don't know, but I thought that that he felt better in the first fight.
And at media day, you were talking about your life after football and then in MMA, like being a janitor and all your old jobs. And it seemed like a lot of fans online really connected with that and gravitated towards that this week. Did any fans reach out? Or did you see any more outpouring of fans after that?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I think that everybody thinks that I just decided to stop playing football and just go fight in the UFC. And that's definitely not the path of how I got here. So I think it just kind of opened people's eyes that, man, I went from being a really good, college football player to being a white belt at something again, to being brand new and learning a whole new skill set and literally fighting my way to get to the top of the organization.
You see Charles Woodson is in the building?
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, man, where's he at?
He was sitting in the crowd.
Back here?
Yeah, he was sitting. They showed him on the TV.
Man, I got to holler at him, man. That guy is football royalty.
What's up, man? You're actually in kind of a unique position where not only have you fought with fans and without them, you actually fought the same guy, once without fans, once with fans. Do you think that had any impact on the fight itself?
Maybe. I don't know, dude. I feed off the fans. I love the energy, especially, when Bruce Buffer announced I'm fighting out of Scottsdale. They just erupted. And, dude, that's one of the things that I miss the most about, even competing in football is the roar of the crowd. Every time there's a solid shot landed, anytime there's a good exchange, you're fighting in a city where you train at or live at or you're from, man, having the crowd behind you is a big push for you.
You mentioned about the output issue in the clinch. Do you think that maybe that's something to do with the fact that you said at the beginning of this, you just needed to win, right? So maybe you were so comfortable in holding him there that you maybe didn't feel the urge to throw that out?
No, absolutely not, man. I try to finish the fights, and, I've been on the wrong end of some decisions before, so I don't ever want to go to a decision. So, man, of course I'm trying to finish the fight, but, man, not every fight is going to be 2 minutes of cloud of dust and a knockout, Sometimes you have to win the war of attrition. Sometimes you have to weigh on them, be heavy on them. And then when your opportunity comes, there's your chance for the knockout. There's your chance for the TKO. There's your chance for a submission. Or in this case, here's a chance for a 10-8 3rd round in the deciding round.
Congrats, man.
Thank you.
Eryk over here. You said that he was not as heavy at 205 as he was at 185. Did you, when you flipped him, like when you reversed position the first round, is that when you knew, like, oh, I got this? Because it seemed like you did that rather easy, and then your confidence grew from that.
It's not that he was heavier or lighter. I just feel like that he was stronger at 185. And maybe he was fighting the clinch. Like I said, I don't know how he's been training before the first fight or before this fight. But, yeah, dude, I know in the 3rd round that cardio is going to be on my side. I know where I'm at mentally. I know what I've done to get here, and Man, I'm not going to let any more of these fights slip out of my hands in the third round.
Do you take anything to take back down to 185 from this fight, or just kind of separate things, separate weight class?
Man, I don't know. Each fight has a life and history of its own. You know, the next guy I fight, whether it be at 85 or 205, you know, there's going to be holes in their game to exploit. It's going to be a different fight. They're not all the same. I think it's more opponent based than it is weight class based. But I do like 185 better. I think I compete better at middleweight. Obviously, the weight cut's way easier at 205, but man, I think that's what kind of makes a difference in these fights. You know, at 85, man, I'm dialed in for 9 weeks, 8-9 weeks at a time. So by the time even when I leave the gym, you know, I'm thinking about my diet. And when I'm thinking about my diet, it kind of is like, oh, maybe, you know, I start thinking about the fight. And I just play the fight over and over and over and over in my head, you know, when I'm sitting in bed at night. But at 205, I'm not hungry, you know. I'm not sacrificing anything. So when I go home, man, you know, I'm watching Netflix, reading a book, or not really too much thinking about the fight, if that makes sense. So at 85, it's like constantly, always and forever on my mind, the fight. So I play it hundreds and thousands of times before I actually fight.
And final question for me. Of course, you're a motivated athlete, but after going through this week, you got the pop when they say you're from Scottsdale, getting the win, getting your hand raised, and people kind of feel your background. How much does it inspire you to push on and be an inspiration for others? Not that you're not motivated, but does it give you extra fire after going through this week and end it with the hand raise?
Yeah, man, you know, Darren's a fighter too. You know, I knew that he'd come out, he'd be tough, and you know, whenever you win, it's easy to be motivated, you know, because, you know, you win, it kind of validates everything that you did to get that win, what you did or didn't do to get that win. So I think sometimes in the loss is where you kind of have to soul search, figure out what you did, because when you win, it's like everything that you did was right, you know, but if you lose, like, what did I do wrong kind of thing.
Yeah, boy. You
What's up,
kind of.
Schmo?
How are you, man?
Good.
Was going to ask you, is the pathway for you to title contention, is that more at 185 or 205?
For sure at middleweight. You know, I'm down to compete at 205, but man, those guys at the top, I think it's a stature thing. You know, I'm only 6'1" with like a 77-inch reach. Those guys at 205 are, you know, 6'4", 6'5", you know, probably 230, 235 cutting down. So it's just a stature thing, you know. At middleweight, they're all, you know, 6'1", except for the champ, you know, but they're all like 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2", and you know, stature-wise, it's a better fight for me.
Is Fight Ready going to be your home long term? Is that solidified?
Man, look at my last 2 performances. You know, I think there's no doubt that the progress and progression that I've made in my skill set all around is undeniable, and that's only, you know, 18 weeks. You know, think about a year or 2 from down the line. You know, I'm just going to continue to grow, get better. Dave Zowine, you know, like I said, I'm just a thoroughbred. You know, Eddie, Santino, my corner Ray, Dave Zowine, man, these guys put everything together. And, man, I just followed the process. Chad EK, the strength and conditioning coach. I think even at 205, this is the best shape that I've ever been in. So, man, I'm just going to keep trusting my career to those guys, let them guide my career, and then, you know, I just show up and fight, and it's easy for me.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Eryk, you talk about
Yeah.
in the third round on your
Who I'm talking to? Okay.
you talk about in the third round how you had to push, and not only did you push, you really actually dominated that round. Is that something different, maybe, that you've learned over losing tough decisions?
Yeah, you know, before, you know, I just go out there and try and knock people out, you know, swing for the fences kind of thing, and that's not the way to fight. You know, you have to be patient, choose your opportunities, pick and choose your opportunities, and what you're going to do, when you're going to do it. Be more calculated, and I think that that's something that these guys standing behind you have really helped me with. It doesn't have to be toe-to-toe, you know, slugfest. You know, 1, that's not conducive to a long career. 2, eventually someone's gonna catch you. So I think being able to mix it up, wrestle, separate and fire, and mix the distances and ranges is the big piece of my game that I've been missing, because I really don't think that there's too many guys that are more athletic than me, stronger than me, and they're also maximizing my speed, which I think was the biggest attribute that I was deficient in. So, man, it's all kind of coming together for me.
Yeah, I've long since said this. Your coach, Santino, probably knows. I think he's the best corner man mid-fight out of anybody I've ever seen. Does that help you when you come down into the second and third rounds to know that you have somebody to be able to honestly tell you where you stand in the fight?
Yeah, they were honest. You know, he told me that I lost the first round. Wasn't sure about the second round, but I, probably thought that I won, and that I had to go out there and try to get a finish in that third round. And I think that third round was probably a 10-8, maybe. I think I don't really know, but I really didn't listen too much today. To be honest, I could hear them telling me to separate and fire, but I could just feel his energy just dropping. And then that third round, he took me down, and as soon as we started wrestling, I just felt him kind of not give up, but he didn't have. He gave it up easy. He gave up the reversal real easy, and he wasn't really trying to get up like he was. So, like I said, everything is kind of coming together for me, and now I can be the triple threat, striking, grappling, and eventually I'm gonna get a submission one of these days.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations on your winning. And your life is testament to achievement and commitment. What is your message for all those trying to get there?
I mean, that's my career is kind of like is life. One door shut, so I had to kick open another door. I wasn't content and ready to, spend the next 40 years of my life sitting behind a desk making somebody else a bunch of money. Literally fighting for my money has put me in a position where, man, I could quit and retire now, and would be financially straight forever, for my, me and my family. So I just I had to follow my heart and what made me happy. There were plenty of people, including my own family, who, I don't know why you want to fight. You're going to get your teeth knocked out. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. It's so stupid. But, man, I just kind of, shut those people out of my life, girlfriends, family members. And, we'll see who has the last laugh.
And my final question is, when would you like to fight again?
I'm definitely going to take the summer off, spend some much needed time with the wife and kids and stuff, travel, do some camping maybe. And I don't know, late October, early November I think would be a good time for me to get in there.
Very good. Thank you. Congratulations.
What belt are you in jiu-jitsu?
I'm brown belt.
Do you think a submission win, you get the black belt?
Man, I think I'm so far from a black belt.
I only ask because I can remember when Woodley got a submission, they presented him the black belt inside the
yeah, I don't know, dude. I really don't put the gi on too much anymore. I love the gi, don't get me wrong, but man, I'm training for MMA. You really don't wear a gi and whatnot, but the gi is fun and whatnot, and eventually one day I will get my black belt once I kind of recommit myself to jiu-jitsu. But man, don't make any mistake, man. Your boy a purple belt world champ, so. Y'all get right. I got jits.
Yeah, Eryk. You have a lot of fans, obviously, in Arizona. You've been training out here, the past 6 months. Is Arizona almost starting to feel like a new home for you in a way?
Yeah, I love it out here. I keep coming back. The housing market's kind of crazy out here. There's like no houses available and whatnot. But man, I would like to eventually, buy a house out here because I plan on fighting for, quite a while still. So. These Airbnbs can kind of get expensive after a while, so, I kind of need to invest in myself, and eventually I'll find one that's not, $1 million. I ain't there yet, but working my way towards it. Appreciate you guys.
I'll be in touch.